Hello, my friends. Welcome to Start the Day with Ginny. I have been remiss for a couple of days. I have been so engrossed in doing my new audiobook for healing leadership. I just finished section 1, and I'm super excited to share healing leadership verbally with you. By the way, that's how I actually wrote my book. I speak my books, and then I transcribe, and then I edit, and then I give it to my professional editor for final editing. So I am super excited because I get to relive every single chapter and section and subsection of the book with you, and I cannot wait to share it with you. In this Start a Day with Ginny, I want to remind you that even though there are so many bad things happening around us in the environment, the economy, the world, the people that are being hurt, the people who are suffering for no apparent good reason, that as all of that is happening, we still have a choice to stay centered and anchored. And this is what I want to share with you today. The one way we can do that is by being uber self-aware of where your emotions, where your thoughts keep going. And when you catch yourself going into a negative emotional loop, or where your thoughts are nothing more than negative self-talk or very gloom and doom, that you catch yourself and at that moment, make a choice. And the easiest way to change the track or change the station is to focus on gratitude. I know you've heard me say this before. Please, it's one thing to hear something, understand it cognitively, and it's a whole different thing to practice it, to embody it, and do it. So when you find yourself in that place of, oh my goodness, this is horrible, what's going to happen? And then your brain starts to go into all kinds of negative directions, that you stop the train, focus on this moment, stay present, look at the facts. What is real right now? The future is unpredictable. All we can do about the future is prepare for it today. If you fear what people may say, people who may approach you and say things to you that you are not looking forward to hearing, you can't control that. What you can control is to say, if somebody is coming at me with something that I was not expecting, how will I react? That is 100% under your control. So how would you react if somebody comes at you? I had a client recently who was promoted to director, and some of her peers at her level are actually trying to create a pecking order and letting her know that she's not really experienced because she hasn't led people before. And during our mastermind, what we explore doing together is, how would she react? How would she respond when there are comments like that coming at her? And the strategy that we came up with is that she would be very lighthearted about it, because she's a very lighthearted person, and actually make a comment back, something like, for the past 12 years, all I've been doing is completing projects successfully, working and collaborating with peers, with teams from other groups, and I've been doing all of this without authority. So now that I have my own team, it's going to be a piece of cake. That's a way to let people know what your truth is. Because for some reason, and it could be that they want significance, they're trying to put her down so that they look better. So that's one way in which people meet their needs for significance, and it's not a healthy vehicle. So I've shared this for 2 reasons. One, if you are on the receiving end of comments like this, you now have a strategy you can use to be lighthearted about it and to make a truthful comment that speaks to your experience and to the challenges that you've already overcome, so that this new environment where you have people reporting directly to you, it's a piece of cake. The other part of this that's really meaningful is that if you happen to be someone who is meeting her or his need for significance by putting down other people, that this is your wake-up call. It's not a healthy vehicle to try to squash someone else so that we can feel elevated. One, it's a fake vehicle because simply by you making the comments, it doesn't mean that what you're saying is truth. And if it is truth and it's not constructive, what's your point for saying it? Ask yourself, what was behind me making that comment? And what you will find out when you're mindful and self-aware, which is what highly emotionally intelligent leaders do, to reflect, then you may notice that that was you trying to meet your need for significance. And perhaps you look for a different vehicle to meet your need for significance, such as elevating your team. When you elevate your team, you're elevating yourself too, because obviously your team is working for you. You are working in an orchestra. So that's the Start the Day with Ginny for you today. I want you to be present, cognizant, and to be mindful of how you're showing up, how you're receiving feedback, how you're planning to respond to that, despite what is happening around you. There's so much that's always going wrong, and there's always something going right. We have to be fair to ourselves and allow ourselves the leeway to be fair with ourselves by noticing what's going wrong, but also noticing what's going well. And that's what helps us balance and center ourselves. Otherwise, we'll just be spinning and spinning and spinning and creating more negativity around us, bringing the negativity to other people, which is not constructive in any way. You know where to find me. And if you're curious about our Fearless Leadership Mastermind, which is starting in September of 2022, feel free to connect with me at callwithginny.com. That's where we do our leadership training with online modules, bi-weekly meetings, the first 6 months. And the last 6 months, we have monthly check-ins to make sure that you stay in momentum and implementing all the strategies and tools that you have in your tool belt. It will be my pleasure to connect with you. Live with purpose, live with joy.